Hi everyone, this is week 7 update for Cosmos Computing, and in this update we'll talk about what happened last week, what is happening in the next few days and the next few weeks. So last week we came across the Kimberley on the Gibb River Road. On the Gibb River Road we managed to find a few stations. So previously we had an issue where we would go into towns and we wanted to speak to farmers, but they were nowhere to be found, so we didn't know how to speak to them. So this was a really big issue on actually finding and speaking to customers for us. So we went to the stations and started to talk to farmers, or at least who we thought were farmers, but it turns out it's usually the caretakers that are at the farm, or a shop assistant, or someone who is living there on the farm, but it's not actually the person who owns the farm or manages the farm. Still, we got some really useful information, and once we talked to more than one farms, we started to see patterns. We started to see that the stations on the Kimberley are quite big, usually around 1 million acres, and all they have is about 8,000 of cattle. And the more we saw these numbers and patterns, we realized that it really seems off, and then we started to ask the right questions, we think, about why have these extreme numbers. And so we asked at one farm, like, okay, but why do you have only 6,000 cows? And they told us that, well, we don't really sell the cows, or they don't sell the bulls either. And the reason behind that is a live export ban that was introduced 5 years ago, and that really put back the cattle industry. So things have changed in the last few years, and this opens up new opportunities for us. So one other thing that we learned about this industry is that it's not the farm owners who are managing the cattle. Usually they have contractors coming in from different states, and they do the mustering. And when they do the mustering, they collect the cattle, they put them on a truck, they either ship it overseas, or they put them to the abattoir and make beef out of them. So then we started to ask questions. Okay, then how often do you guys do that? How often do you do mustering? And they told us that, for the example of this one station, they haven't done it in 5 years. So that's not something that you can really build a business upon. But if you think about it on other way, it's not them who do the mustering, it's the contractors. So the contractors do make money out of it, and they possibly do more than one mustering every 5 years. So then we started to ask questions about mustering and how it's done, and then started to realize that planning and organizing a mustering is actually a quite complex task, and we think that we can simplify it and make it more efficient by offering specific data for each farm or each station, and collecting information beforehand, so that when they actually get to this station and do the mustering, everything is already planned and laid out nicely. So that's our next plan. And because we are in this regional part, it's really hard to actually talk to people because there are not many people in this region. So what we're gonna do is on Saturday we are going to attend the Connemara market, and we think that there is a good representation of our possible customers in this area, and we would like to interview 10 people who are in some connection with mastering. This can be farm owners who order contractors in, or this can be people who've done mastering before. And we are going to partly interview them and partly show them a paper prototype of how we would present them the information of the farm that they are going to master, and see how they react to it. If they think it's cool, and if they seem like they want to use this product, then we're gonna ask them, okay, then what would you pay for it, and do you want to sign up for it? So if we can get 3 people happy about it and 3 people like it out of 10, then we will have this experiment as a success. If we won't get 3 people out of 10, then we'll see it as a failure for the experiment. We see that as people will not use this kind of product and will turn to something else and use this learning to develop something else. So that's our really short-term plan. And for the next few weeks, from Connemara, we are gonna travel across the area for a bit more. And next week, end of next week, or in about 10 days, we are going to head off to Darwin. And we'll reach Darwin in about 2 weeks. From there, we are going to go across NT, Queensland, and New South Wales, and talk to more customers on our travels. So this is our plan, and we are excited to share this with you guys, and also would like any feedback about what you think about it. And yeah, just put it in comment below if you have any ideas on how to improve this plan. Cheers! See you guys next week.